Please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And welcome to the big show. I forgot we were supposed to do the intro.
Yeah, I was waiting
Sunday.
I was waiting for Chico Resch. I know
right?
it's go time after we heard, what was that, a bumper or whatever of Chico Resch saying that. And all of a sudden it was like we were on camera. It's like, oh crap! What's the line? What's the line?
Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday! See, we're just creatures of habit. We're creatures of habit. We need to hear these little bits and pieces so we can intro in properly.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome back to the Let's Go Devils podcast here. I'm Scotty, shorts guy over there. Is that some blonde hair I see underneath that hat?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Wow. Whoa.
Look at that.
Are you playing in a Sublime cover band? Is that what's going on right now?
No, I'm done working for the year, so I need to do something to change things up a little bit.
Woo! I like it. It takes me back to the old 90s and early 2000s there, man. Bleaching the hair when I was in college and stuff like that. Woo, baby. Well, welcome everybody.
I actually look like I can fit in really well on a South California beach with a surfboard.
There you go. And that's where I'm coming from, you Los Angeles. Shorts guy over there in New Jersey. And glad to be back, everybody. You know, I've been out for like the last month or so. I had one of those LA traffic evenings a couple weeks ago where I went to the beach and then just could not get back in time. And then lo and behold, after that, my ass ended up getting COVID. So I was knocked out there for a couple weeks. I was on the taxi squad. I got put on the old taxi squad there. Took a while to recover. I'm not trying to get preachy, but I'll just say get your booster because I know I put mine off, and I had it for a doozy there. So I wish
you were pretty
I didn't keep I'm recovering now. It took me a while, but I wish I didn't keep like putting off. Oh, I'll do it next week. And I actually had an appointment scheduled. I got sick the week I went on vacation. I had AEW tickets. I had Mets Dodgers tickets. I couldn't go to anything. Oh, it was terrible. Oh,
that's the worst.
And the worst part is, I had all my doctor's appointments lined up for that week. I had an eye doctor appointment for new glasses. I was supposed to get an MRI on this bum shoulder that I have. Had to cancel that. And then on that Thursday, I was supposed to finally go get my booster.
Yeah.
So I'm back, though, feeling better. I hope everyone out there is doing well. Also, recovered, recharging, got a chance to watch some good playoff hockey. Woo! I know I haven't been here a while. Thank sweet Ozzy.
Oh, yes.
That the Rangers
did
not win. I am so happy that after the first two games of the conference finals, the Tampa Bay Lightning, remember when we played them a few years ago in the old playoffs, and we were all excited because we had like swept the Lightning in the regular season, like 4 games, and then the playoffs happened, and they were like, oh, wait a minute. We're the Tampa Bay Lightning, and you guys are the New Jersey Devils. Hey, hold on a second. After game 2, it seemed like the Tampa Bay Lightning remembered that they were the Lightning and they were the favorite team. Yeah, who just won the last 2 Stanley Cups. And now they're going for a third. And again, similar pattern here, getting now Colorado is obviously a much, much different animal than the New York Rangers. And I don't even want to say it, but hats off to Shesterkin because he is the only reason why the Rangers stayed in that series. He was unbelievable. Tampa Bay was throwing everything and the kitchen sink at him, but could not withstand Stamkos coming through there.
Well, everything caught up with him.
Oh, yeah.
Getting, and I think I either talked about this last week here or on Hockey on Tap, but getting 35 shots a game catches up with you quick, especially in a compact series like in this, like in any of these elimination series. Getting 35 shots a night, every other night, it catches up with you, and eventually you have a bad game or you tire out, and he just happened to tire out, as did the rest of the team. But you are absolutely correct. He's the only reason they were there.
And when the shots are coming from the Stamkoses and the Kucherovs, those are a little bit more
the best in the world.
Stop.
The best in the world.
Yeah. So I know every Devils fan out there was happy as hell to see the Tampa Bay Lightning wake up and put the Rangers in their place. And now we got another dude. We got a couple days off, though. This is a weird schedule, right? I don't think the next game is until Wednesday.
It always gets weird. No, I think it's tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, Yes, it is tomorrow because I just had a buddy of mine, Matt, asked me if Hockey and Tap was going on as scheduled because we're normally 8 o'clock on Mondays, and tomorrow it's 8 o'clock, which means that a quarter of the guys won't be on and swim. But
excuse me, the first game was Wednesday, and then they had 3 days off until Saturday. That was
weird. That was a long break. Yeah. Wednesday to Saturday is a long break.
That is a very weird break there for a final.
But it always seems like the final schedule gets wonky whenever they get to the final. There's always something odd. There's always an odd break, an odd large amount of days in between some games. There was also I think first round this year, first or second round, the Lightning had a back-to-back, which I don't ever remember there being back-to-backs in a playoff series.
Did they? I didn't even realize that.
Very rarely, yeah. Yeah, they had a back-to-back at one point. Way back in, let me see if I can find it real quick. May, let's see. Back in like one of the earlier rounds, they wound up having like a back-to-back. It's like, why back-to-back? Oh,
against,
wow, look at that, April.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, I'll try to find it, but that in a playoffs, that's weird to have a back-to-back.
That is rare.
So
yeah, to have the schedules like that. Usually got those day offs in between, rotating from East Coast to West Coast or however they have it split up there. But it's been a hell of a playoffs so far. It's been very, very exciting. The Edmonton Colorado series. I know I was texting you guys from the taxi squad. Oh man, Mike Shorts guys, seriously. You should put a video package together of your goaltending skills, of your best saves, and send it to Edmonton because they need
oh man,
they need something. I don't know how they need something. They need something.
Mike Smith did what Mike Smith does, and he that last game of that series, that 5-hole goal that he let in, that was pretty much the game. That was the most Mike Smithy goal I've seen Mike Smith give up recently. It's just it really was. It really was.
It was so bad, though. I mean, how can you have a team that's scoring like 5-6 goals a game and you still lose? Like, that's Devil's territory right there. We complain about the goaltending all year. That shouldn't be Edmonton. That was our territory this past year.
That shows that shows what happens with a hot team and a mediocre goaltender. A mediocre goaltender will fail you at some point in the playoffs. Every now and then you get a situation like what was his name? Dobby from Dallas. I can't remember his actual name, but Dallas's goaltender when Dallas went to the finals against Tampa, was it two cups ago? He was, he's not a fan. He's a good goalie, but he's not a stellar goalie like your Vasilevskis, your I hate to put him up in that same category, but Shesterkin, like goalies like that are just lights out. He just happened to go on a run, and he petered out in the end. When they got to the finals there, but having a mediocre goalie, you're either going to get what happens with Mike Smith, or maybe you'll get a run. Maybe they'll just play out of their minds, and it'll be a one hit, a one hit wonder.
Yeah,
and maybe get you there because you have to support, but their defense was also a little suspect as well. So
it was. But Edmonton, can you imagine if? Well, I mean, hey, they were scoring like 15 goals a game, though. It was pretty damn exciting. I gotta say,
it was not.
Can you imagine though? No. Can you imagine if Edmonton had someone like Shesterkin on their team? Like they would be unstoppable.
Yeah,
they would be unstoppable. Because he is someone. Obviously, the Rangers played some playing against. It's tough to really criticize because Tampa Bay is really good. I think they definitely overplayed expectations this year. The Rangers, I think they definitely got far. I didn't have them beating the Hurricanes there in that Game 7.
I don't think anybody did.
The Canes just.
I don't think anyone.
The Canes just. They didn't show up in that Game 7 at all, and the Rangers took advantage of it. So you got to give them credit for that. But. Shesterkin, that defense was taking a hit there when Tampa Bay woke up, and Shesterkin, he bailed them out just over and over and over again. There were times it could have been like 4 or 5-0, halfway through the game, and it was only maybe 1-0 or 0-0, keeping it tight. Like Shesterkin, he stood on his head. Vasilevsky has been shaky, not really like him. Like these first couple games in both these last series, he's been
he started that Rangers series off very shaky. They were beating him high blocker, I think, quite often. And they were actually making him look normal. They were making him look like just a regular mediocre goalie, they were making him look like a Mike Smith.
Sorry, Mike.
I'm gonna use that comparison tomorrow with Schwem. He's gonna lose his mind. Because Mike Smith is a former Tampa Bay Lightning, and in fact a legend of the Tampa Bay goaltending
15 years ago
of the past. Still Tampa Bay legend. Vasilevsky is looking normal and not the normal or not the regular superstar that he's been in the playoffs. So he could be beat, and that's the thing.
Wall. Yeah.
And
that's what he showed. He can be beat this season.
Eventually, this run was going to come to an end, and maybe we may be looking at that. Now, I can't imagine Tampa Bay is going to be swept. At the very least, I can see them at least splitting their 2 home games, unless they win them both. If they win them both, then the series gets really interesting. But Colorado just seems to be such a swarming team. It's just, oh man, it's gonna be tough.
Oh yeah, but being with their their penchant for winning, and their penchant for getting in the playoffs, and even though they have some younger guys, they're stacked with so much experience there. I don't think anybody on the Tampa Bay Lightning right now is really sweating being down 2-0.
No,
like there's
no.
not a
They're
doubt
too
in my mind that
experienced. At this point, they're too experienced.
Yeah. And even against a team like Colorado, like Tampa Bay has that experience, has that know-how. They know how to win. I wouldn't be shocked if they rolled off 4 straight wins against a team as good as Colorado as well. Like, that's how good they are. So if anyone's thinking this series is done, you are dead wrong, because Tampa Bay is going to come out on fire when they get back down to that Thunderdome over there in Tampa Bay. So
and John Cooper as a coach is an incredible coach, and I'm guaranteeing he's coming out with something tomorrow. I had to listen, so I caught the last couple of minutes on the radio on the drive home last night, and it sounded like it was getting a little bit of rough and tumble out there towards the end of the game, just from how they were describing it. So, yeah.
I'll
be
Corey Perry was doing Corey Perry things.
Starts, well, because he's not, doing the un-Corey Perry things of scoring. Like
exactly. Exactly. What will Patrick Maroon do if he doesn't win the cup? Has anyone won the cup 4 times in a row? Has there been a player that has won 4 times in a row? Because he got St. Louis to Tampa Bay. If they win,
there had to have been. Well, Mike Smith would have won it for. Not Mike Smith. Sorry, Billy Smith would have had to have won it 4 in a row with the Islanders.
Oh, okay.
Because the Islanders won it 4 in a row.
Did they? Oh, yeah, that's right. There's 78.
So
okay.
There's got to be at least a half dozen players on that team that won it 4 in a row.
Never mind.
So yeah,
I'm a dummy. I forgot about the old Islanders there.
The old neighbors.
Sorry, that's when I was being born.
The old neighbors to the east.
The old neighbors to the east, yeah. The Icelanders over there. Hey, we got a visitor.
Oh yeah. I was trying to
Nice.
I was trying to record some stuff for college, and she was like, "Oh, podcast, I'm coming up," and I'm like, "No. You have to go down. You cannot be in this one. This is an academic one. This is an academic recording."
Well, in other hockey news, there is a lot of stuff going on out there with the rest of the league besides the the Stanley Cup final right now. And of course, talking about our New Jersey Hockey Devils over here, there's been some reports going around, and I see the great Sam Wu has titled our show here, "How Do Devils Get Over the Hump?" And, we could talk about coaching in a little bit because, are there some wonderful coaching prospects out there now?
There are.
But one big thing is that we've been seeing reports here and there about, good old Jesper Bratt. I know they have started conversations, but they're not really close to getting a contract done. We still got a month's time before, I think it's July the 13th. Which is the deadline. I was all but positive that Fitzy would have this wrapped up. And then you start seeing, possibilities about other teams being interested in Jesper Bratt. And I'm sure everyone saw that nice little tidbit about the Chicago Blackhawks looking to get rid of some of their rather young superstar wingers to... I wonder what team could use. It has some good centers. It can really use a solid winger who can score 30 to 40 goals like DeBrincat can. So, as I was 100% positive the Devils were going to lock up Jesper Bratt, is there possibly, a trade maybe brewing? I'm not sure. But we do have the prospects where we could trade to Chicago, where they would like that talent who isn't ready to get a huge increase. And that's not saying Jesper Bratt, because he is ready. He is ready to get a huge increase as well. They should lock him up long term. However, if you can make that deal with the Blackhawks, do you then try to maybe package a Jesper Bratt in sort of a trade for goaltending, not named Mike Smith? Is that something that, possibly maybe kicking around the old offices there in Newark? where Mr. Fitzgerald is located, and I'm sure he is grinding away with the rest of the staff and the scouts, coming up with the draft and everything. But I don't know. What would you think of a possibility like that? Do you think that's even plausible? Do you think it's do you think we're even bumping into Chicago and seeing and putting feelers out there? I mean, with that kind of player, I think you kind of have to, right? Was he like 24? I think he's
something
24,
like that,
right?
He's
I'm gonna look him up.
You have to. You have to pick up the phone call you have to pick up the phone no matter when it rings and have that conversation. And we spoke about this even with the second overall pick. Like when the phone rings, you got to answer it and at least hear the offers. At the very least, you hear the offers and then you go from there. Is it possible? Yeah. At this point, anything's possible. As long as they're making moves to better our team, there's very few on the roster that are untouchables. And I think we can all agree on who those untouchables would be. Brett is not on that untouchable list. As much as we would like him to stick around, because he is playing well, if we can improve and get a player that's even better for him, that's the business of the game. If we're able to bring someone in, that's the business of the game.
I mean, that's, a lot of the rumors, Devils, may look to trade that second round pick for DeBrincat.
Second overall?
I'm going to look at second overall pick. Yes. Second overall. First round. Sorry. Devils. It's woo.
I'm glad I'm not making these decisions. Let's put it that way. I'm glad I'm not the one making these decisions. I wouldn't mind the paycheck,
also Chicago,
but I'm glad I'm not making
Chicago might also try to be, hoping to kind of get Patty Kane out of town. Yeah. I could see our buddies across the river there wasting a lot of money on him for their final couple of years, thinking that might, put them over the hump. But if the Chicago Blackhawks are looking to shed some money, Patty Kane would be number one. I don't know if Jonathan Toews is ever gonna, leave, but they're both on those $10 million. Yeah, they're both on those 10. I mean, they got rid of Duncan Keith. He went up to Edmonton last year. They broke up the core three. Is Kane the next one to leave? Well, if you take away DeBrincat, that might be, more of a Patty Kane. Why do I want to spend my final years, here in Chicago in this rebuild? Yeah.
Yeah. That moving him just for that reason alone, like, hey, we're not going to really do anything, we're potentially not going to do much the next couple of years. So if you want to give us a list of teams that you want to go to, try to win something else on your way out, go ahead. Kind of like, what's his name from Philadelphia? Why is his name Giroux? Giroux wanting
Giroux,
to, yeah. Which, by the way, I looked it up. The Panthers the Lightning had a back-to-back with the Panthers in that series. It was like a Sunday, Monday.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, I don't ever remember being a back-to-back in any playoff series previous, but I also can't remember what I did this morning. So, my recollection is not the end-all be-all here, but
I mean, tell me if this doesn't sound like exactly what we need, though. Just, DeBrincat's stats, goal-wise. First year, 28, 24 assists, 52 points. Second year, played in 82 games in both these first 2 years, 41 goals, 35 assists for 76 points. In 1920, he played 70 games. He only had 18-27 for a total of 45 points. 2021, 32 goals, 24 assists, 56 points in only 52 games. And then last year, he played the entire season again, 82, 41, 37 for a total of 78 points, which I think would put him right there at the top on our team. I think that would put him 2 points ahead of Jesper Bratt. I think he had 76. So,
like that, yeah. On a relatively crap team, he was doing that.
Yeah.
just
So-
like Brat did it on a relatively crap team too.
Sounds like someone that would go really well right next to a Jack Hughes
What is his
or a Nico Hischier.
What is his
He's a left
yearly
wing.
hit though? What is his yearly hit though?
I think he is an RFA now, right?
Okay.
I believe he is. I got to go to. I'd have to go to the old Cap Friendly over here and look
I
up
can
the
look that up too.
Chicago Blackhawks. But he is definitely ready for a
Payday.
an increase, much
we
like
can do that.
a Jesper Bratt, and we can do that.
Yeah, it's a matter of who would you want to give the
break
pay
out.
increase to?
Yep, 1 year remaining RFA.
Okay. Yeah, so he's going to be looking for a pay with those numbers. Like, holy crap! Yeah, he's going to be wanting a payday.
We do have the room to be able to give him that payday.
Chicago has no draft pick
They
in
have
the
no
first round.
Yeah, they have nothing.
It makes things a little bit more interesting.
Makes me feel like then you don't have to give up a Jesper Bratt in this situation.
No.
You might be able to just go straight up for the draft pick there.
Yeah, too.
Maybe
Absolutely.
possibly throwing in someone like a Pavel Zacha or something like that as well. I'm not sure, but I'm no GM, but I think you would be able to maybe swing a straight up one for the other now because Chicago doesn't have any pick in that first round. They're going to have
Chicago
the cap
wants,
issues.
And if Chicago wants somebody that badly, it may be very enticing to them to make that trade.
Yeah. And that's right. They got Seth Jones locked up for the next 8 years. I forgot about that.
Jeez.
That's a big hit there, too. What's he, 9.5? Man.
We have 3 round 4 picks. We have 3 fourth round picks. Jeez.
The Brinkats right now is at 6.4.
6.4 million?
Mm-hmm.
We have space for that. That's for sure.
We definitely do. So it's an interesting situation. Can you then, like I said, if you could do that straight up, can you then possibly then turn around and maybe package a Jesper Bratt for better goaltending? That's
still
an idea.
That's still the big thing that needs to be figured out. And who who will be that goaltender? It's still so up in the air that.
Oh yeah.
Or
you could just try and sign Bratt to a long-term deal rather than just like a 1 year gapper. Maybe you can sign him to a like an arbitration gapped 1 year gap deal. Like try and sign him to a long-term. Lock him up. Lock him up. Wouldn't be bad having both those guys on the side there. I know they got to start saving some money, though.
Take him.
Although, I would take it. Although I have to say, even though happy birthday to Dougie Hamilton, by the way, I have a feeling he's not going to finish his career on the Devils. I don't know. I have a feeling that he will get traded at some point.
It's possible.
I don't know
unless we are able to really kind of turn it around in the next 2 seasons. To the point where he becomes a very big piece to the puzzle in our success.
Because we also have to figure out Damon Severson as well.
We do. Who
Miles Wood, I think, will get one of those 1 year deals, prove it kind of deals because he's been hurt, and I'm sure he would probably want that as well, a chance to go out there and play and perform. And if he could put up 25, 30 goals next year, he would get a lot bigger raise than he's going to get right now.
Oh, yeah. Man,
so, I think it really
–
if this – yeah.
Looking at the goalie UFAs, I'm just looking at goalies that are UFAs. There's not a lot out there. Ugh.
No. It would most likely have to be a trade.
Yeah, we're going to have to absolutely trade for a goaltender. There's no UFAs available, or at least that are worth anything. And yeah, there you go. Producer Sam just sent a text to
Sam will,
yeah.
You want to give him that note that we just got there?
There we go. The goalie market sucks. It's true. It does suck. So we're gonna have to figure something out with goaltending. I hope we don't go into another season where we bring someone in and then like 15 games in, they're out for whatever reason. That would just suck.
Fitzy
to
has
have
not
happen
had
again.
the best track record with signing the goalies there. So
No.
I mean, I guess they're expecting Bernie to come back, but we've said it 1,000 times. You cannot count on him as like a sure thing. You just can't. Not with that injury, not with that age. Maybe the following year he might be able to return to normal at some point, or maybe like halfway through the season. But he hasn't played in so long, and the NHL level is just too elite. You can't. It's too fast. It's just too good. Like you're not going to snap back into it just like that. It's gonna take some time. You can't go in thinking that he's like a surefire backup or something like that, where he's going to get 30 games in the season or something. You can't. Mackenzie Blackwood, same thing. You can't rely on him.
No, and as much as we all wanted to when he was.
No, we're not bringing back Corey Schneider, Sam. No more Corey. That's what's going to happen on draft day. Big announcement. The Devils have traded their second-round pick to the Islanders for Corey Schneider. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, I hope not. Speaking of the Islanders, where the hell are they on this list? I got to look at this. So something that was mentioned at the very end of the season. Here they are. Something that was mentioned at the very end of the season with Snyder coming back and playing. The potential of moving the Islanders moving one of their goaltenders, which I mean, I would rather Sorokin than Varlamov because Varlamov is 34. And Sorokin's not 34; he's 26. But with Snyder being a their possible backup going forward, if he can get his at least enough skill back to where he can be serviceable for 15, 20 games. If that one of the Islanders goalies may be available, but again, Varlamov being 34, that's a little old there.
Well, if you're going to
here I am saying that's
player,
old
though,
and here I am saying that's old, about to turn 40 in about a week, so for 2 weeks.
Hey, it's not Mike Smith old, so don't worry about it. Sorry, Mike.
Hey, at least I know I can make.
You're taking it. Tonight,
I can make better saves than Mike Smith. I know that for a fact.
You could almost just feel when those goals were coming against him too. You're like, they're gonna give it like one more minute. I think maybe two more shots. He's gonna let one in.
He's such an awkward style. Like, just kind of going back to the bubble season. I think the first goal he allowed in the playoffs in the bubble season, someone shot it from behind the goal line and it hit his butt and went in. Like it ricocheted off his butt and went into the net. It was a butt goal. It was hysterical. It was like the first shot that he let in.
Didn't he let in like an 80-footer or something like that in the playoffs?
Yeah,
too?
He let in a pretty bad one like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
man.
Know. He can handle the puck like no one else, though. He can handle that puck. He needs to figure out the rest of it.
Just can't stop it. That's yeah. Let's just hope we don't have Mike Smith on our team next year to solve our goaltending.
He's potentially
woes.
retiring.
If that's the case, if that's the case, we're gonna have to make like like one of those petitions. What do they call those petitions? To like stop things from happening, whatever. Like
change.org or whatever.
Change, yeah, we're gonna have a change petition. Fitzy not allowed to sign any more goalies, like without we gotta approve it. They gotta put up a poll and the fans gotta approve it. If
Fitzy signs if Fitzy signs Mike Smith, we all need to go down to Newark and start banging on the doors going, please resign now. Please resign now. Ugh.
We fixed our problem. We got Mike Smith and Marc-Andre Fleury coming in here next year.
See, now, Fleury is a different story. Do not put those two in the same sentence. Fleury's a different story.
He was bad with Chicago, though, all year. Like, woof.
But then when he was with Minnesota, he picked it up again. So Fleury's a different story. But there's no way Fleury would come back to the East with anybody but Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I would. Either way, they got to figure out something in goaltending. But also, if you do make a trade, with Chicago, like I said, it does kind of open up a player like Jesper Bratt to maybe, you'd be more willing to dangle him out there and listen to some more trade offers about him, especially if it's something with goaltending. If you make that trade. If not, I'm thinking you lock him up. That's just my long term.
I'd prefer so let's say Chicago's still a potential trade partner. I'd prefer to try to get Chicago to take that pick for the trade, swap a pick for player, and then potentially have Jesper Bratt as the carrot for a goaltending trade to dangle out there for a team in order to trade a goaltender, because Chicago has no goaltending. So it's not like we can say, hey, we'll trade you the second and Bratt for whatever. They've got no goaltending. Delia is a first free agent. That would be where we want to go. And the goaltending market sucks. Like any team that now, like it's going to have to be a team up.
You know what? You're cutting out a little bit there on the feed.
I know.
So
I realize.
I'm not 100% sure. I got the full screen. Uh-oh. I guess that. Oh,
I might be back. I think I might be back.
Oh boy. We got full screen again over here. Well, I agree. I mean, if you can swing that trade with Chicago, it's very enticing. It's someone who is kind of right at the same pace as a Jack Hughes and a Nico Hischier. They're all about the same age. They all came in the league, within 1-2 years of each other. They're all kind of growing at the same time. It does make a lot of sense. Also, Jesper Bratt, too. I don't want to just lose Jesper, but he is a piece that a lot of people would be interested in. And he's a piece where, with especially last year's performance and how in my mind, he was the MVP of the team. He was consistent throughout. He had one bad stretch there at the beginning of the season. Lindy did, is one thing that we really rave about. I know I talk a lot about Lindy's coaching and a lot of decisions that I don't really agree with. And there are a lot of coaches out there. Hello, Cassidy. Woo, baby. That would look nice behind the Devil's bench. But Jesper Bratt is someone that I think a lot of teams, when they hear that name, they'd be very, very interested in. And someone that you could put a package together for a quality NHL goaltender who may not just be a quick fix, may be a long-term solution. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. Because we know, as we saw with Edmonton, listen, I'm not saying Jack Hughes is Connor McDavid, but we have the potential to score a lot of goals. We have a potential to score a lot of goals. We still got Holtz coming up. We got a bunch of other prospects as well. We've been talking about them for I don't know how long now. You're starting to see the defense come forward. Don't forget Luke Hughes is still at college. Woo! Luke.
All right, I think I'm back.
Chasing you, Damon. Oh, he's back. All right.
I think I'm back. All right.
Nice.
Stupid updates that pop up randomly. That's what I'm going to blame it on.
But yeah, it wouldn't sting as much if you can pull off that trade with Chicago, losing someone like Jesper Bratt. With the age, with the development, right on line there with, Hughes and Hischier and everybody else. And like I said, I think that's a name where other GMs are going to go, oh, really? Oh, yeah. Oh, hello. I'm interested. What's going on here? That I think that's a name that will definitely pull in a lot of interest.
Agreed. And I think one of the things we have to remind ourselves of that we all get emotionally attached, invested in these players. We also want our team to do well. which in some cases, like potentially with Bratt, might mean that a player like him, as much as we would rather have him with us, might need to be moved in order to bring something in that'll give us even more success, if not even the success all the way to the cup. Obviously that's really reaching. However, sometimes it's one of those trades, 2-3 years before you win a cup, that you look at it in retrospect, you're like, oh damn, that was really what did it. So I think that right now, with what this team is capable of and what we saw in spurts throughout the season, I think we all need to be prepared to see some of these players that we love potentially be shipped off somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in order for us to get a goaltender, and this is what I was, I think, pontificating on before I got froze up and stuff like that. Regardless of what it is with a goaltender, we're going to have to make that trade. And it may have to be players we like, players we've all, players some of us have purchased jerseys of. But we can't say, oh, I want to have Jesper Bratt on the team. I love Bratt. Bratt needs to stay. Bratt needs to stay. But if there's no goaltender, what is Bratt going to be able to do as far as winning anything along with the rest of us? So I think we all need to be prepared that we're probably going to have to see some of these players we like shipped on out.
We know Sam Wu just sent us another note that Damon Severson, apparently Sam Wu's there's going to be another expansion draft, and Sam Wu's going to re-expose him in the expansion draft again. There's not going to be another team, but it's just going to be a random expansion draft by the request of Sam Wu, just so he can expose Damon Severson in that draft. That's what's going to happen.
Well, you know what? There virtually is an expansion draft. It's called throw him on waivers. See who wants to pick him up for free.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's basically your virtual expansion draft there.
And you know what? We kind of started talking about it there for briefly while you were while your computer there, where you needed to relaunch and get hooked back up there. I had mentioned just a couple coaches like Cassidy, being out there and some others.
No, Cassidy got snapped up by Vegas.
Who? Oh, is that?
I think Vegas snapped him up. So Vegas snapped him up.
Right. You're right. It's Winnipeg is still waiting on Trotz. I'm sorry. Okay. Brain confused. I've been out on the taxi squad. Sorry about that, everybody. Well, yeah, good move by Vegas right there. That's going to be
that'll be
a good one for them. Torts went to Philly, right?
Those press conferences are going to be great. Those press conferences are going to be fantastic.
That's going to make for some wonderful social media there. I can't wait for Tortorella to knock out Gritty at some point or something like that. He's just going to wander into the press conference and Tortorella's just going to turn around. Bah! Oh man, that's going to be wild. That's going to be wild down there.
If the Flyers are smart, and I know they're not, they should put some kind of television commercial campaign together with Torts and Gritty. Just Torts acting like Torts and Gritty acting like Gritty, like an Odd Couple type situation. It would be hysterical. Some kind of social really media, short bit, like something. It would be so great.
That would be awesome. One thing I definitely don't want to see, and the great Sam Wu had sent this little article that our friend Larry Brooks from the Post had written.
Torts his favorite guy.
Yeah. Everybody's favorite guy. And the only interesting part of that article actually was the end where it was actually talking about Chicago wanting to possibly make these deals with Brinkat. But Larry Brooks was suggesting bringing in someone like Claude Lemieux to coach the team. And then immediately after that it says, now I know he has no experience whatsoever in coaching or anything like that, but I think it would be a great move to shake up the team. Whatever you do, I would much rather you actually keep Lindy Ruff. That's the one situation I would rather you keep Lindy Ruff than going out there and hiring a coach with no experience whatsoever with a young developing team. That is not the recipe for success. Okay, I don't agree
Yeah.
with a lot of things that Lindy Ruff does, but I would much rather have him than a first-time
Claude Lemieux.
coach. Yeah, like, and don't be wrong, yeah, Pep, great, yeah, you know, like won the cups and everything like that. But he's
Well,
had coaching
we already
experience.
did that. We
Yeah.
did that already. We did that already with John McClain. We had an ex-Devil come back with no experience.
Well, at least he coached the minors. Claude's not even coaching in the minors.
Regardless, we brought back a legend to coach, and it failed.
Yeah,
miserably. Did it fail?
You know,
this would
and
be
I know
even worse than that. This would be worse than John McClain.
That's when I would say we are screwed. We have the new Will Ponds of hockey. That's what I would say. If they brought in someone like that, that seems like a Will Ponzi type of move. We're gonna have this guy come and manage the Mets this year. You know, like let's see how it goes. Let's bring in a former agent who's just gonna hire all of his old players as our GM. No one's ever done this before. This could be a good idea.
Was a mess.
That would not be a good move. Hiring someone like Claude Lemieux, if you want to bring him back for like marketing, or if he wants to like try to learn how to the front office, be an assistant somewhere to like the president of the operations, you know, or like an assistant GM. You know, Marty was an assistant GM in St. Louis for some time. If you want to teach them and train them like that, just throw him in there and be a head coach would be the absolute dumbest idea you could possibly do for this team.
And what we're doing right now is probably why Larry Brooks threw that out there, just so that people would throw his name around in this article and debate it.
Maybe.
And even though potentially call him crazy for it, that's exactly why he wrote it, because there's nothing else going on right now in at least in Devils hockey world, with the exception of the second overall pick, which we'll eventually get to, you know, when we get to but the draft's not even until July 7th, so there's still lots of time to kill and lots of space to fill with nothing going on. No to Claude. But not only that, he was a gritty player on the ice, bit of a dirtbag at times. That doesn't mean he's going to be that type of person as a coach. You're not always an exact replica behind the bench as you were sitting on the bench.
He may be, you know, he might be actually a really great coach, but he's never done it before. And to do it at the NHL level right off the bat with a bunch of young kids who you're trying to develop, probably not the best idea. Probably not the best idea there.
That would be dumb.
You know? Especially, thank you, Craig Best over there on the Facebook page. By the way, we haven't said hi to everyone on Facebook Live and Twitter Live and YouTube Live.
Attention at all.
Zach, and I see Michael and Craig over here. I mean, Kevin Deneen does seem like the next logical choice and everything he's been doing. You know, with Utica and all of these prospects who we know are on their way up. They're kind of growing with him. We know Sarge is down there as well. There's your former player who might turn into a really good coach.
Yes.
Who's been in the minors for quite some time, working with a lot of these prospects. He's played a bunch of different roles within the organization. That's the person maybe you want to take a shot on, not someone that's just, hey, Claude Lemieux was fun back in the day. I wonder if he'd be a good coach. Let's try him out.
Clickbait. That's all this was clickbait. That's it.
I saw Grant Marshall on the Let's Go Devils podcast. He seemed to know what he's talking about. Let's have him be the head coach of the team.
Right. Yeah, that's Larry Brooks's just writing some clickbait there.
I know.
I
hate him.
Whatever. I hope Larry Brooks. You know what? I think I said this last time Torts got a job. I hope Larry Brooks transfers down to the Philly market.
Oh, man.
Just to cover the Flyers.
Just to cover the Flyers.
Just to cover Torts. Like,
hey,
Torts, I'm your personal beat writer. Why'd you choose that suit today?
That's good. So I notice you have this tie on over here, Torts, and I can just see the look on his face. What the hell does my tie have to do with winning a hockey game? Can we move on, please? Oh my God!
No. Let me finish this out. So your tie is tied a certain way, and skates are tied a certain way, and And next thing you know, Brooks is on the floor because Torts has just punched him out of anger.
Yeah.
It would be fantastic.
I notice you always wear an orange tie during day games. And usually that means, that'll be. Oh, my God.
But the Philly market would love that. If Torts punched out Brooks.
I would love it. Are you kidding me? I'd love it in a heartbeat.
These are the same sports fans that punched the horse. Like, like
I love Torts. I just don't want him on the Devils. That's all. Like I like him on other teams because he's comical as hell, and I love watching his press conferences. Although it seems, I don't know, watching the playoffs and seeing him do like some analysis for ESPN and stuff like that. It does seem like he may have a little. We'll see once he gets back behind the bench. But he seems to maybe have like a little Tom Coughlin 2010, 2011 in him, where Strahan had to go to like Coughlin and be like, "Yo, you need to relax a little. You need to mellow out a little bit. We get all the rules. We're gonna follow your rules, but you gotta stop hounding us. We're men. He does seem to have like a little bit more of that. I learned some things from my last stint. Where was he? Was it Columbus's last?
Yes,
place?
Columbus was his last stint.
Yeah, I feel like it seems like maybe he learned something, but Torts is Torts. He's gonna bench people. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, I wish there was sound.
He's gonna bench people. I mean.
Oh yeah.
So he's gonna find one of those stars he's not gonna like. There's always one that he's got a problem with. That he doesn't think hustles enough or something. It's look out.
That stuff gets old too. That stuff gets old when you're in the locker room.
When you're not in college or high school, it gets real old. That kind of stuff. That's like like when Nick Saban tried to go and coach the Dolphins, and it was just like, nope,
that was terrible.
Ain't working, dude, because real men aren't going to put up with this crap. It'll work with 18-year-old and 19-year-old kids, but men are not going to put up with this.
You speculate, be as sarcastic as you can be, as you usually are. I will. Go right ahead. Good. I said I'm not answering any of your questions. Have you ever fought before?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah. Why? Are you challenging me now?
No, I'm not challenging you.
Okay.
Redden sticks up for his teammates the other night.
Yeah.
And you come out with some sarcastic article?
It was funny.
It was funny?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
You were probably beat up in the bus stop most of the time.
I think so.
Oh, please. Someone in Philadelphia hire Brooks per diem.
Please.
It's close enough for them to drive. Yeah, just
for the season.
Just home games. Just home games. Like the Philadelphia Inquirer, please bring Brooks on. Please bring Brooks on.
Oh my God. That's too good. That is too good, man. Yes, I love Torts. I just don't want him coaching the Devils because I think he's a little too crazy. But seeing him though, he makes me laugh, man. I love listening to his analysis, and I love him in those press conferences. They are just gold.
I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When in the Cup Finals, Sammy had press credentials and was able to get transcripts of the press conferences. And Pete DeBoer's press conference transcript would be like 3-4 pages. And this is during the Eastern Conference Finals. And then Tortorella's press conference transcripts was like a page. It's like there's a question, and the answer would be,
nope.
It's like, John Tortorella? No.
Next
question. Next question would come out. No. Answered already. Next question. It was hysterical. I got to find them. They're somewhere. I think I still have them in an email somewhere. Oh, my gosh. Let me look.
Oh. Sorry, Flyers fans out there, but I really hope your team is bad this year just to see the press conferences.
Let's see if I can do this by date.
Oh, my cousins are going to kill me for saying that.
I gotta.
Then they'll send the Eagles song to me after that.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, my Philly cousins.
Let's see if I can.
Oh man,
I'm trying to find these old. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, any of those ideas, like the guy who gets beat up on the bus stop all the time, was suggesting is not a good idea. I think Lindy Ruff needs to be like on the hot seat basically going into the season.
All season.
Yeah.
Like he has to deliver this season.
We can't be going through 6, 7, 8 game losing streaks again. You're always going to have your time where you play bad, but I don't know. There was a couple times me and Sam are doing some Devils After Dark, and we're like, I wonder if they can get to 0 and 10, like on the old last 10 score sheet, on the box scores and everything. What have you done in your last 10? There was, what was it, like 2, 8 and 1 or a 1, 8 and 1? We were like 1 and 9. You can't have multiple 6+ game losing streaks throughout a season. As much as I hate to say it and hate to give him credit, and I know a lot of this is on Shesterkin, but there was a stat. The Rangers didn't lose 3 games in a row the entire season. They stopped their losing streaks. Sure, you're going to have your downtime, but getting 2 wins and only 4 losses makes a big difference rather than 6 losses. You can play bad at certain points. We know that, people get hurt, people get injured. Hell's bells, I just had COVID myself. And I'll tell you what, yeah, I can see playing professional hockey afterwards would be tough as hell because I was tired and exhausted. So I can totally see how that would be. Things are going to happen. But 6, 7, 8 game losing streaks?
No,
I'm sorry. That's on the coaching looking unprepared, having the team not ready to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just not. We can't be doing that anymore. We have to win, and we have to start winning now because some of these players.
Uh-oh. Did we freeze again? Are we frozen yogurt? Oh, I heard something. I heard a blip. Oh. I think we might be frozen yogurt over there with Shorts guy. But I think what he was saying was just agreeing that we can't have these losing streaks with these players and, how much they have. Hey, there we go. He's back.
Oh, all right, good. So I found one of those transcripts.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. This is great. This is after the Devils beat the Rangers in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Question, can you talk about the decision to sit Gabbard? No. Question, did you the kind of effort you would to Coach Tortorella? No. Oh, it goes even better. Are you disappointed in this showing after you had effort in Washington? Coach Tortorella answer your first question. No. Oh, man. This is
Who doesn't
great.
want to see that with the Philly press? Come on. That's gonna be absolutely amazing. But I think we are coming to the end of this edition of the old Let's Go Devils podcast here. We want to thank everybody on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitter Live for checking us out. Thank you for all the likes, the follows, the subscribes. Keep them coming.
Everything.
I'm glad to be back in the mix over here. By the way, a happy birthday to Mr. Beer Baron.
Absolutely.
I believe he's just getting back from visiting some family out in the Pacific Northwest. And happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there. I know Beer Baron is a dad. I want to say happy Father's Day to my dad, who used to take me, even though he wasn't. Yeah, even though he wasn't the biggest hockey fan, my dad got those, what was it, like those 15 game packs a season, and he would take me all the time. And, I loved going to those games at the old Meadowlands, the Brendan Byrne Arena, before it was called Continental, walking across the street from Giant Stadium on the boardwalk, sitting there. Like, we had our whole section where people would get the same tickets every single year. It was awesome. And I saw so many games. I know I told the story about I was at that Corey Schwab fight with Tommy Soderstrom against the Islanders. I was there. I could still see Corey Schneider chugging down the ice, throwing those gloves off, man, and just boom.
And
boom,
Corey Schwab.
boom,
Schwab, you mean? That's Snyder.
Corey Schwab. Yeah, Corey Schwab. Marty was actually on the bench that day, and of course he, came in halfway through the game after Schwab got ejected.
The look on his face was the look on his face is like, I was supposed to have the day off today.
Yeah,
not even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, you could Google it if you want. Corey Schwab, Islanders fight, man. It was Bill Guerin was on the team going out with Casper Wright is back. Oh man! But thank you to my dad for getting those ticket packages every single year. I know he didn't have to do that, and I always give him crap about the one game we missed. It was against the Flyers. It was a snowstorm game, and it ended up being like a 6-5 victory with 10 fights in it. And I was like, Dad, we should have won. But yeah, him and my grandfather used to go every single year, about 15 games or whatever it was a year. It was like 12 game or 15 game package, whatever it was back in the day. And so thank you, Dad. I love you for taking me all those games.
Yeah, I want to say happy Father's Day to my dad as well, and to all the dads out there. My dad did the same thing, brought us to games. My dad was actually at that game with the Schwab Soderstrom fight.
Was he?
I was not with him. I think he brought my brother that day. So my kind of the tradition was my parents would buy tickets and they would take each one of us to a game. So,
nice.
But I was there with my dad when the Devils won the Eastern Conference Finals in '95 in Game 6, and I was there with my dad when the Devils won Game 4 in '95. So, happy Father's Day, Dad. Love you. And yeah, he was there and saw the Devils win their first cup with me. So, it's always a good thing. Mm-hmm.
Very awesome. Very cool.
And he put up with having an idiot goaltender of his son.
Oh, the real expensive hockey pads you want, huh?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, man. Well, happy Father's Day to all of the hockey dads out there. We thank you for that. Do you have any other final thoughts, Shorts Guy?
No, I think we got it all out, and I probably shouldn't start talking because I'll probably freeze again.
Okay. I'll say I saw an amazing show last night. Max and Igor Cavalera going back to the old school Sepultura days, doing Beneath the Remains and Arise. Woo! I know there's like maybe 6 or 7 shows left. I think they're out here only on the West Coast. I think they hit New York about a month ago. But if you happen to be out in the West Coast and you can get tickets to that show, wow. Some childhood memories came true last night in LA for that. It was absolutely amazing. So big horns up to Max and Igor. Woo!
Thanks.
All right, Sam Woo.
I guess that's it.
I think we're going to take us out until next time. Well, we got Hockey on Tap coming. We got whole bunch of programming coming up over the week. State of the Fan Address. Yeah, there you go. And then, of course, Sam Woo might pop on for a Woo report here and there. Keep your eyes open if he does. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we'll be back next Sunday. We'll have Beer Baron along as well for the big show. So until then, let's go Devils.